Hi there guys, welcome to Box Bread. Luke Campbell is taking on Argenis Mendez this weekend for the vacant WBC Silver Lightweight title. Now, this is a decent fight for Campbell to be having as far as I'm concerned. Mendez is a former world title holder, although rather fleetingly, and he's an experienced guy who's going to give Campbell potentially some problems, but he's going to give him some good experience in the ring, or he should give him some good experience in the ring. If you look at his experience and where he's been. Bear in mind, there's only a couple of fights ago, and we're talking October last year. Mendez won a unanimous decision over Miguel Vasquez. Yes, I'm talking about the puppet, Vasquez, who only a couple of years ago was looking dominant in the division, looking very good. But that, like many statistics and things, names on people's record, doesn't tell the whole story. Vasquez, if you watch the fight, is pretty much a shadow of him for himself. I believe he switched trainers, and he's lost his long game completely. Vasquez's strength was always the fact that he just used to jab and run circles around people, and you just couldn't get to him. And he used to just outbox guys from the outside. Quintessential outside fighter. Against Mendez, he was just quite aggressive, standing just directly in front of Mendez. And when you do that, Mendez is able to stay in a fight. Some would argue that Vasquez actually won the fight. There was not much in it. But this is the potential problem that Mendez can pose in this fight, is that he's the type of guy that I don't see anything special, anything that jumps out or stands out with Mendez, but he's enough of a nuisance to stick in a fight, to stay in a fight, and it gets towards the latter round, you're talking 8th, 9th round, and your corner is saying you need to do more. And this is all a bit too reminiscent of the fight that Luke Campbell lost a couple of fights ago against Ivan Mendy, where he wasn't able to do enough and he came up short. Mendez has the potential to pose those sort of problems. I don't see Mendez as much of a threat in terms of power and hurting Campbell necessarily, but it's just that experience, ring savvy, the ability to stay in a fight and keep it close, and then you start asking yourself questions. What am I doing wrong? I can't seem to get on the front foot with this guy. I can't seem to get that much success with this guy. Are the judges seeing it my way? And then if that happens to Campbell, if he doesn't have a good start in this fight, if it gets longer and longer, and things just, if it's a boring fight and things just aren't happening, then the mental is what I'm concerned about. Will he start questioning himself? Will he start panicking and making mistakes? Maybe I'm reaching, but I like to look at potential possibilities in fights. And I do think that Mendez genuinely poses that type of concern and threat. But like I said, in the Vasquez fight, if Vasquez has had his long game that he used to have, I feel he would have won the fight comfortably and more convincingly. And that's exactly what Luke Campbell has. He has the long game. He has the length, the reach. He has the jab. He has the boxing skills. He has the straight shots. He has the potential to hurt Mendez. And I think he has everything that Vasquez didn't have in that fight to make it more clear cut. And I think that he might be quite cautious in this fight. He might take his time. But ultimately, I think he will shine through and he will win the fight. And I'm going to go conservative on this one. I'm going to pick Campbell by decision. But I think there's a distinct possibility that he gets a later stoppage in this fight. The thing with Campbell is, in the last fight against Sykes, we saw this. He does have a killer instinct. If he catches you through well planned and set up and executed maneuvers, then he goes in for the kill, and he's all over you. And that definitely has the potential to happen here, because in his last fight, Mendez was stopped by Robert Easter Jr., who is an upcoming fighter himself, looks very good. But that guy is he's rather aggressive and in your face, Easter Jr. Whereas I think Campbell's a bit more rangy and calculated in term, he's more of an outside kind of guy, not so aggressive. He becomes aggressive if he catches you. So the question is, does he catch Mendez with a shot and then kill him off? Or does he play it cautious and just see the fight out from the outside, winning points on home turf? I think they've obviously picked this guy. He got stopped in his last fight, but he has some good experience and he's had a world title. He beat Vasquez a couple of fights ago. This is a good name for the record and a good confidence builder for Campbell. I think all roads lead to Campbell really in this fight. I just see him winning it. There's that slight threat from Mendez, but I think it's more on the mental side if he can frustrate Campbell and later in the fight make things a bit interesting and a bit panicky. But I'm fully expecting Campbell to do the business. I think he will look good. I think he'll be sharp. And I think his boxing skills at range will see him through. So I'm going for Luke Campbell by decision with a high possibility of a late stoppage. Let me know what you guys think. Obviously, Campbell coming off that loss a couple of fights ago is really rebuilding. Sometimes it's the best thing that can happen to a fighter, as we know. Thanks, guys. I'm Boxbred, and I'm out.